What's up, Hollowheads? How you guys doing? So I see all these people with their price predictions and their chart readings and stuff like that. And if you are reaching out to more vetted hollow person with, like a chart or a prediction and looking for feedback, you might get hit with some hostility. And I'm gonna explain why. Like, I'm gonna actually teach you guys how to properly read hollow. It's really easy. This shouldn't take up much time. It's actually so easy that I feel like I didn't feel like I needed to make this video, but at the same time, like, I really want you guys to have the best advantages, right? I really want everybody to eat. So I'm just gonna put this out there. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Basically, hollow doesn't have patterns it responds to, right? It's not actually dependent on your typical patterns and sequence and charting, right? Like, obviously it has its resistance levels and stuff like that it does seem to honor quite a bit, and it is kind of nice in that sense. But when it comes to actually projecting the movements of the chart, there's only one way to do it. This is a real project with real progress and real people working to bring this to life. And I'm going to show you, I'm hoping this freaking might blow some minds, but if you look here, this is where we first saw our first real increase. It was around February 8th. So something happened right before that, right? So what you need to do is you need to go to the news, right? You need to go to the news, and down on the right hand side here, it actually organizes it all so you can easily find it. So February 6th to February 8th. And I've already opened this up. I've already gone through all this because this is what I do. If you're trading, this is going to be a huge tool. But look at this. We've got in preparation for the release of Elemental Chats. Anybody paying attention knows that Elemental Chat is being prepped and about to be released. So there's a big upgrade that went out. Elemental Chat's about to come out. Boom. Now we've got our first little spike up here. And then around February 21st, around just before that, I actually think it was right around here that update came out. It was a little slow because honestly, like, they had been so dead in the water and hadn't been updated, not dead in the water, but like they had been so quiet. There was a lot of radio silence, so it took a little bit for this news to kind of stick. But if we look, February 12th, Elemental Chat is live. They released this week. We decided to deploy the Elemental Chat. So it took a little bit for it to pick up. It wasn't too long. Get the fuck out of here. But essentially, as soon as the news caught wind, looks like there was a big up spike, and now it's going sideways again. So in the beginning, when they were first making these updates, it took a little bit of time because honestly, like, people had like gone to sleep. It was dormant. It was like a sleeping giant. But now that people know it's awake, here we go. Something happened around March 13th, 14th. So if we go back, March. Let's see here. It looks like around this area, it was mainly just updates and just people getting informed. There was a couple collaborations and stuff going on. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and they were really, really updating a lot. Like, they had increased their amount of contact with the public at this point. And I think that this was just residual from this kind of movement here, because this for Elemental Chat going live was not enough. So here we go. This was not enough. So now we're really like, this kind of movement would be more what I would have expected from the initial release. But like I said, news was slow back then. I actually lived through all this. It was really, really slow back then. Like, not a lot of people. We had like 2,000 people, not even 2,000 people in the chat. And between this point and this point, we're now at 5,000. So between here, there was only like 1,000 to 2,000 people in our chat. So anyways, we look over here, March 25th is basically when this huge gain happened for us. And what do you know? Thursday, 25th of March, 2021, the U.S. granted the patent for HoloChain. Boom. News. And then essentially going, like, I want to keep this going quick, not to break into too much detail, but now we've got like the basically the retracement, and then we had the AMA pushback, and then we had, which wasn't a big thing, it was just scheduling, but people are fucking love to conspire and make bullshit because they probably bought up here or some fucking crack, or sold down here, one or the other. But anyways, so we have the AMA pushback, we have the bugs on Elemental Chat just driving this kind of like sideways downward action. I don't see it going underneath this resistance level. I don't, but like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I am simply just a guy who loves technology, and I used to trade charts, and I probably could line up a nice few patterns on this, but like I said, it does not respond to patterns. It responds to news because this is a real tangible project, which brings me to my next point. I came in with an analogy when I was explaining this to my friend. I was like, essentially, hollow fuel worked just like the gold standard did, where it has an actual asset backing the currency. Like the currency can't exist without actual monetary value there supporting that currency. So essentially, this is digital gold. Like this is we're going back to the gold standard. This is digital gold. It's if you could go back to when gold was first discovered and they were sifting for gold and like the big gold rush, and get your hands on that before it became a huge thing and the fucking standard for currency, would you do it? Because essentially this is the closest thing to that in the digital world. So like I said, we've got news that is essentially what impacts this. And then to go even further in that, infrastructure too is any day it could happen. They can just come out as soon as they get those bugs out. Like they want to get it out to us ASAP. They do. Trust me, like they're building this out of their heart and soul. They want to get us this product. So it's not like they're holding it back for any sort of reason other than the fact that they want to make sure it's good and ready when they send it to us. So as soon as that hits, man, you want to be in before that, because the second that hits, there are so many people sitting on the sideline waiting for that news, because that confirms the project is authentic and real. As soon as that news hits, whoever's not in is gone. Like they're fucking gone. What it does before that news hits, who knows? But as soon as that news hits, easy all-time highs. Easy. Like that news is just as significant, if not more significant almost than this. Right? That news is basically both of these, all of this, all in one, because it's essentially the proof of concept, which is this phase here. This was like the mild, just host-based proof of concept, and then the patent, and now it's showing the public the actual full proof of concept of what they are making is what this infrastructure 2 release will be. Absolutely huge. So without taking up too much more of your time, guys, hope that helps. Hope it gives you a better understanding of how to actually predict hollow and read the charts, and as well as to be excited for the future, because big shit's coming, and no one can stop it. So hollow love y'all, guys. Hollow love y'all.